lives. You can check vitamins levels, mineral levels. You can do so many amazing things with the other person that I can tell you that it takes about 4, 5, 6 minutes for someone who has a very big trauma, something that changed their life, something that was really, really bad, something that has not left them, even with psychology or psychiatry or whatever, and you can release that in a matter of 5, 6 minutes. You don't use anything. You don't use your hands. There is no instruments. There is no machinery. There is absolutely nothing. And it can be learned in a weekend. That's all it takes, 1 weekend. It's really, really amazing. I have taught this technique to very young people, like 11, 12-year-old girls and boys, and they learn it immediately. And I have taught the same technique to a 86-year-old indigenous woman from Mexico, and she learned it immediately. There's no way you cannot learn it because it's inside you. The thing is that the power that we use, the power of the heart, the power of the love, and the power of the mind, if you do it in the way that I was taught to do it through the ayahuasca ceremonies, it's great. I can't even express it. It's very difficult. I sometimes people, my students can tell you about Sama better than I do, because I feel so humbled about it, because I didn't create it. I didn't really do anything. I just received information, I put it together, got onto a plane, went to Chile, went to Argentina, went to Mexico, went to the United States, and it just took off from there. But this is the amazing thing. It starts as a healing technique. People want to learn how to heal themselves and heal everybody else. That's fine. The first people that I got were all therapists. Then doctors and nurses and psychiatrists and people who were working with animals, like veterinarians. And then people from the streets, just normal people, start to come to the workshops. And obviously they came because they wanted to learn how to heal. But that was only like the beginning. That's only like the little, the top of the iceberg. That's really nothing. The important thing is that once you learn how to use your mind within the quantum field, then you can apply the same technique to everything else. Everything else means your life, means relationships with people, means abundance, means money, means starting a new project, means starting a new career, means that you can use it as a sportsman, or you can use it as a musician. You might even be an artist in whatever field of your life. Quantum thinking, when you apply it to your life, it just changes your life 180 degrees immediately. It's a miracle. I think it's just a miracle. And I don't think I am the only one that is downloading this information. I think this information is being downloaded in a lot of places around the world to a lot of different people, and it might have different names and different bits of the technique that might be different. But the idea is that the world as we know it, it's coming to an end. Lots of things are changing, and we know it. All this thing about the pharmaceutical industry, it's going to go down very, very quickly. And we need a way of relating to the earth, relating to Pachamama. We have to find a way to relate to each other. And the only way out is love. That's the only way out.
Yeah, what a beautiful answer. In the Spanish show, we spent time with you and we went through a visualization technique, and you mentioned you teach this over a weekend. So we want to just get some insight from you about what are the types of things that people will go through to learn this technique.
Well, the technique first came as one level, as it were. And that's the one that I used for 5 or 6 years with so much success. And then another information started to come down, and it became what we know as Sama 2.0. So we had 1.0 and 2.0. And finally, the last one came, and I was told there will be no more, which is 3.0. And the idea is that in 1.0, because we have all been taught to only work with our left hemisphere, which is the Newtonian one, which is all logic, and if I don't see it, I can't believe it, and things like that. We give our students a protocol that they must follow, where they will not take any decisions, because the idea is that we don't do anything. The idea is that we are tools, and we are only downloading the information that the client needs at that particular moment. And that's sometimes a little difficult for the ego. Everybody wants to feel like a big healer and get the medals and things like that. So we go very slowly on 1.0. But then we take them to 2.0, which is just plain magic. That's where you can introduce the energy of books, sacred places, from witches to animals to nature. It's very, very crazy. It's quite crazy. And that needs a lot of right hemisphere. And then when you get to the 3.0, it's basically love. It's basically the realization that we are only one spirit. Everyone. We're only one single spirit. And it becomes a moment when the students understand that they should not heal the other. They should not make the corrections to the other. They should make them to themselves. So when they have a client in front of them with whatever problem, it doesn't matter, because it's all energy. Instead of healing the other, they start healing themselves. And when they heal themselves for that particular symptom, the person that has that symptom, the symptom disappears. And that shocks them, because they understand that every single thing that you do to another person, or animal or plant, you are doing it to yourself. And if you heal your mind, if you heal your heart, everyone else around you heals. And that's amazing. Now, 1.0 is an important one, because it's the first step into the quantum thinking. And that we have it in English as well, because we have an online school, and we have the 3 levels in Spanish, and then we have the first level in English. So actually people can study the Sama 1.0 in English. And we haven't translated yet the next levels, but we are on the process of doing it. So the basic thing for me is for people to do 1.0, because the other ones are for people who really want to get into this way of thinking. And most of them are professionals, people who want to make a living out of this, and people who actually make a great living, because we don't even work with the client in front of us. We all work at a distance. So you can live like me up in the mountains, or you can live in a desert, you can live wherever, as long as there is internet connection. Then you can work and heal anything, absolutely anything. Is that amazing? I don't know if I answered your question.
Oh, yeah. And
more than answered it. Yeah. Opened up the door to a whole
Truly.
new way of experiencing work.
We are, in our Circle of 12, and in our channeling, this is the message. It's not just being one with everything, but there's a method of becoming this. Now, this is what you're probably calling quantum thinking. Do you want to expand on that a little bit, about what quantum thinking would be?
Okay, to give you like an example, every time I have a thought, and every single time that I have an emotion, but mainly my thoughts, let's work about my thoughts. When we talk about my thoughts, every single time that I have one, I'm sending out energy, I'm sending out vibrations. They will never remain inside me. We think that my thoughts are private, but they are not. Every single thing that I think, you know about it. Your subconscious mind knows what I'm thinking about you, or about Monica, or about anyone else, because we all share one common unconscious mind. So when I realize that every single person is listening, is hearing what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling, then I can start to practice a different way of thinking, a different way of looking at things. And when my life starts to change around me, the moment I start to think differently, then I realize there is something quantum about the whole situation. And that's the sort of the principle, as the basic, to learn to think in a positive way. And to do that, what I do in the workshops is show people how you can actually, just by thinking, you can strengthen someone, so you can practically not even move it from the place that he or she is standing, because he or she is very, very strong, or how you can weaken that person immediately, just sending one single thought, and the person weakens. And then that's the beginning. And then we obviously explain that the Newtonian life that we have been living the last 350 years, it's okay for many, many, many things, but it's not everything. There is 99.99999% of a reality that we can see with our eyes, but we can see it with our subconscious mind. We have a mind, and that mind inside has an eye, and this eye can see things and can feel energy and can have perceptions and ideas that are so amazing that you realize that you have been practically wasting your life. To the moment.
That's well said. Oh,
yes, this is terrible, because look, I'm 62 and I started to teach Sama when I was 50, and I was very happy and I was very glad with the one upstairs, with my guides. I was very, very happy and very blessed. But now in Mexico, I just come back from Mexico last night. There was a girl in my 2.0 class, and she's 16. And I was thinking, 16, she's got her whole life in front of her to have a marvelous life, to understand that this is duality and we have to go towards unicity, that life is something that is not outside attacking you. It's in you, it's inside you. And you are projecting these images onto the world. And when you change the way you think, when you change the way you feel, everything around you changes. And she's got her whole life for that. And I'm happy for her. But I wish it could have happened to me too.
Yes, of course. I think we all wish that. That is such an exquisite way of describing how positive thinking, which we've been talked about, but you have a very special filter and lens to give it new meaning as to why it is so important for positive thinking. Tell me how you then will teach students and practice yourself when you witness something. We create everything, yes, from inside of us, but you can witness something that is negative. It could be a car accident, or it could be something on the news, or it could be something that's happening. How do you then transmute that into your positive thinking?
That's very interesting. Positive thinking, it's a phrase that has been burnt already by all this new age situation. It's not actually really, it's not positive thinking. It's not like walking out of your house and, just saying and again and again and again, everything is fine, everything is fine, everything is fine. It's not exactly that. It's waiting for something to happen. And as you say, we will encounter things that we feel they are negative. When it happens, you have to realize that what you're looking at is a dream. It's actually a dream. We are dreaming all this situation. What I'm projecting onto that dream, it's the conflicts that I have inside me. And the first conflict that I have inside me, it's a separation from God. God, and you can say universe, Mahoma, whatever, it doesn't matter the name. But it's that divinity, it's that thing that is higher than us. We are so detached from divinity that we feel guilty in an unconscious way. And that guilt is what we are projecting all the time onto the screen of our lives. So when you see something that is horrible, first, as a human that's supposed to be here, although it's a dream, but as a human dreaming, you will feel something negative, and it's fine. You feel it. But then immediately what you have to say is, I forgive myself for looking at this and making it real, because it's not real. And that's the beginning. See? It's a little bit difficult at the beginning. People look at you like, whoa, this guy is weird, but it works. Actually, every single thing that happens in front of your eyes is neutral. It's not good or bad. It's once we filter the situation through our beliefs, is when we determine if it's good or it's bad. And sometimes just by changing our beliefs, by changing the way we have been programmed, because from age 2 to 7, we have all of us have been programmed by society, mother, father, family, friends, school, TV, television, whatever. We have been programmed. We're all programmed. The moment we manage to change those programs into positive programs, because scientists say that about 70 to 75% of all the programs that we have are negative programs. When we change those programs, which you can do with different modalities of, energy healing, then life becomes completely different, because you will not see things as bad as before.
I hope everybody's listening to this, because we have had healer after healer after healer in at least 3 cultures tell us exactly that, and that we have programs in our subconscious that are pasted there and are actually controlling what we do in life from moment to moment. And here we are again with that idea that in those first few years of our life, up to about 7 years old, all of that takes place. So the people are going to ask, how do I delete them?
Well, you can delete them, obviously, with Sama, obviously, you can delete them, and it's very, very quick, very, very fast. But there's also other modalities that I know. Psyche is one of them, hypnosis is another one of them, and there might be others that I don't know. The idea is that the only way to change those programs is by accessing the unconscious. Because if you sit and talk with someone, it's your mind with the other mind. And if you already knew how to do it, your mind will do it automatically. So there is no point in sitting down and talking. You have to really get into the unconscious. The unconscious mind manipulates or controls or whatever our life. I think it's between 95 to 97% of the time. And it's a huge computer. It's so big, that computer, that you can do anything. And the bits that you do with your mind are very, very small. So when people talk about raising your consciousness level, the level of your consciousness, is exactly that. It's working from your conscious mind and not from the unconscious. So instead of reacting to things automatically out of the programs that you have been installed in your mind, you can actually look at them from the consciousness, from your level of consciousness, and realize that there's nobody is there to harm you. Every single person is doing the best that they can. No one chose the dress that we are wearing as actors, because we're acting. We're always acting. But I didn't choose to be Beturian, and I didn't choose to be born in Mexico and to live in Spain and to end up teaching Sama around the world. That was not my project. And no one has actually chosen the script that we are doing. So we have to relate to other people and understand that they are doing what they've been told to do by their script, and that they are ourselves. We are only one single spirit in the whole planet, dreaming that we are 7,500 billion people or something like that. But it's not true. There is only one spirit. We are all sons and daughters of the only spirit that there is.
We're all brothers and sisters and family.
You
What
can name
a-
it. You can put.
What a
find
beautiful
out.
message. I'm so pleased to hear that Summer 1.0 is in English
Yes,
and
me
that
too.
you are working on the others being in English. Please tell us the website where people can go to access that course.
Okay, www, obviously, and then it's terapia, which is in Spanish, terapia, sama, with two A's, SAAMA.com, and you will enter the Spanish website, but I think somewhere there is like an English sign or something, and you click on that, and then you go to the page, which is in English, and then you can find there the online course. But anyway, if you look in Facebook, sorry, or Instagram or whatever, and you put Beturian Arana or you put Sama, you will be able to contact me, and then I can direct people.
Well, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming back and spending time with us and doing it all in English for us.
I know.
So that was just extraordinary.
It is extraordinary.
Quite frankly.
To just check
Thank you.
whatever
Thank
language.
you. It's a great honor, really.
Oh. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you so much.
All right. I think it's now time to go to a 10-minute break, and we'll come back and do the Circle of 12. Thank you. thank you, and welcome back. I'm so glad you were able to come to the show yet again, this time in English and before in Spanish. It takes a lot to do that particular thing, and that is to, you can be bilingual, but to have enough of it so that you can actually present in both languages is it's not common.
It's hard when you have a second language that you've learned to be able to do that. I admire anyone doing that. Yeah.
I do too. We've been so many places and watched that and seen that some can and some cannot, that we have a great appreciation of those who can.
Absolutely. So let's move into a circle of 12. What do you think, Lee?
Ready?
Yeah, me too. And as we prepare for the circle of 12, let's spend some time connecting in with each other. Let that feeling of connection build. You may even wish to place your hands on your heart and connect in with what's happening as we have this love build between us. And even if you think you're sitting there all alone, you truly are connected with the thousands that will tune into this experience, because they have given intent to be here, just like you have given intent to be here. No one's making you come. No one's making you sit down. No one's making you be part of the circle of 12. It is something you have chosen through your free choice. You've had a little nudge perhaps from your intuition to do this. Others have had their intuition jumping up and down and knowing immediately from the first time the circle was presented, yes, I have to be there. And so collectively, we are all wanting to experience more of who we are. And to help us experience more of who we are, we now participate in this meditation that is led by Kryon, and we invite those energies to come to us a little closer.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon. Come a little closer. The entire reason for the Circle of 12 is to empower you. That's it. So many times meditations are seen as a time you spend connecting to the other side of the veil, or to spirit, or whatever you say, is your way of saying, I am taking that which is my reality, and I'm going to spend time going beyond it. There's some who meditate just to meditate because it feels good, and yes, it does. Dear ones, again, your human body is designed to find the Creator. Did you ever think about that? If you take a look at the belief systems of the planet, over 85% of the planet all believe in some kind of creative source. Now, that is not indoctrination, that is intuition. And from a time, perhaps, when you could look at what any human believes anywhere on the planet, that thought has occurred to them. You're designed to look for the Creator. And so many of you get to that place where you say, part of what I truly enjoy is sitting and meditating. And I have sometimes, you might say, an out-of-body experience or an in-body experience that is so close to out-of-body, it feels so good. I know I'm in connection. This is not that kind of meditation. It's not even a guided meditation. It's not even a visualization. Here's why. Each of you has a soul, and that is real. It's not imaginary. That soul lays upon your humanness, you might say, in a mysterious way that you cannot understand, and it's not something that has been taught to you well. It's something that is just simply thrown out as a word. You have a soul, you come in, you leave. It's almost like accounting. And suddenly we are telling you something remarkable. The soul is the heart of everything, you might say, for a human. The soul is where love emanates from. The soul is the keeper often of Akash. That soul of yours has so much to know because it is eternal. It's been with you every single lifetime, the same one. And it's almost like you come and you go and you come and you go on this planet and it's never involved in your mind, in your reality. The circle of 12 is to get you to understand that perhaps, just perhaps, there is a bigger reality for you. It's not a meditation where you go someplace out of body. It's a meditation where you go someplace in body, where you stay there and you cross this imaginary bridge because it's all we can do to metaphorize going to that which is a multidimensional place from a linear place. And you go there and you open your eyes and you experience things that we are suggesting for you because they are real in their substance. Everything we have done so far in the circle of 12, in that theater, is a metaphor. But you experience it linearly, sitting in the chair, having that which is before you do something and talk to you or congratulate you, or all of these things that we have done have a form of reality, your reality. And that is what we want to show you. Perhaps there is more to that which you think is the real thing on this planet. Perhaps you open a door and you experience something that you never thought was actually you. And in these meditations, you realize you can bring it back to that which is the linear you and start using it. That's the whole purpose. That's why, we ask you to stay awake, to have an experience that shows you maybe, just maybe, there's actually more to you than you thought. This whole idea of the circle of 12 is a different kind of an idea than you've experienced before. Many times you may have visualizations that take you places through those who will meditate with you, or guided journeys someplace. But in this, we're asking you to see it as something you are doing, actually, as you sit in the chair, as you follow this, when you're with me. And the whole purpose of all of it is to enhance you. I said in the channel, if you could see yourselves as we do, it would take your breath away. That is how different the real you is from the you that you believe is there. We mentioned over and over, and we have, ever since we started channeling on this planet, that the blocks that you have to get through are remarkably thick. There are those of you who have awakened to metaphysics early, to an idea of past lives, an idea perhaps of karma, an idea perhaps of guides and angels, and so you are thinking out of the reality you have, out of the physics you have, meta, above, metaphysics. But in that, is there truly an awakening to your enormity? Or are you just echoing the knowledge of how you feel about things? Or admitting that, yes, there are greater things. You're working every day, perhaps with the law of attraction or creating that which is real for you. So you have some of these things down. In other words, you know how they work. Some of you have healed your bodies and you're actually truly in the process of awakening. But how many of you actually own the fact that you're magnificent? That each of you have miracles in your body waiting to be performed. That's the truth. Your body is built not only to search for the Creator, but to then find certain things in your reality, bring them to you, and live a very long life. It's so interesting. You find some of the ancients and some cultures have lived so long. In your day, living over 100 years, some up to 130 years, on a regular basis. And you go immediately to the linearity. Well, why is it? What are they eating? And that's the first thing you look at. Is how is this possible? What's their diet? Thinking that perhaps that's the key to long life. I will give you the answer. They've come from a culture that had no blocks. In other words, they were born into a culture that did not have the instructions that they were born dirty. And they went from there. And on their own, some of them saw that they had indeed a grandness about them because they were part of the cosmos. And they congratulated one another and worked together. And the result? Exceptionally long life. They didn't have the programs and the subconsciouses that you do that would tell them so many things are wrong with you that need fixing. So, dear ones, we speak to a culture and we know which ones we speak to. And we encourage you to understand that crossing the bridge and moving to that place is an invitation for you to see a grander truth, dropping the truths perhaps you already have, because they're not so grand. And as we've said before, and we'll say again, part of this is not for you to rewrite who you are, but to add to who you are. For some of you know already of the grandness of God, of the love that is there. Now it's time to see the rest of the story. And tonight, we do something absolutely, totally, and completely different. The bridge is there as it always is. We're going to cross into that unknown territory that you don't know about, but it is bigger than you are. That's eternal. That's you. It's your soul. We're about to journey into the bigger you. Take my hand. Let's go. Come across this bridge into that place, if you wish to call it that is a multidimensional area, and you look around and you always see different things. Dear ones, this eternal soul of yours has no boundaries or barriers because it is not linear. It's part of the cosmos. Hard to explain to you, and display in your own minds how this would be working. You always want to have boundaries. Is it an island in the sky? You know, what is its size and all of that? And the answer is yes. It's not definable in any language that you have. What is definable is that it's part of the creative source. It's eternal. It's always been, it always will. and it belongs to you as you are a human. And if you believe that you have been on other planets doing what you do here now, and some of you have, it was there then. It's the real you. It has the real name that God knows. We're about ready to go in the theater, but wait. There's another door. Not the one to the theater in the round. There's another door. And this one is a movie theater where you're going to see some films with some others. I want you to walk into this movie theater and see a large screen, empty seats. You're the first to arrive. I'm asking you to go down the aisle and sit midway. Be comfortable with all the seats there. There's not just one chair on the stage. This time, many seats, they're empty. Please, take your seat in the middle and get ready for a marvelous movie experience. As soon as you're seated, appearing next to you, as if by magic, are three guides. One is to your left, one is sitting on the right side, one is immediately in back of you. This is a metaphor, dear ones. It's a metaphor of understanding, intuition, and protection by your guides. They got you covered. No bad thing will happen to you because they are there. They take your hands, and the theater begins to fill. Somehow, with those you think you've seen, somehow you think you've known, you recognize some friends, you recognize others. People you've loved and lost. Takes your breath away for a moment. But this is a multidimensional place. This is your soul where all of those things can materialize. If all souls are eternal, that means everyone you loved and lost is still there. They have their soul. They're just not on the planet with the name they had. But they're in this theater just for a moment, looking just like you knew they looked, and they're taking their seats. They're not even greeting you. They're just anxious to see the movie. What a movie. What could that be? And when all are seated, some you recognize, some you don't, and some you think you might have in the past, and you're scratching your head. The lights go dim, and the movie begins. And the first thing you see is your birth. You arrive on the planet, and immediately in the theater, there is cheering and applause. They're there to celebrate all of the good things that have happened to you in your life. They're there to celebrate the most joyful, funny times you've ever had with any of them. And it starts. And you start to see some of the funny things that you did as a child that your parents just loved and laughed at and howled because you were so cute and so funny. That time with the animal, the time with your toy, the time where you just look at you and go, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And it is uproarious. It is so fun, and you find yourself laughing and laughing and remembering, and everyone around you is having so much fun. Oh, then there were the parties that you had, the celebrations you had, even as you were growing up. Nothing on that screen was negative. It is a celebration only of the fun and the times that you told the right joke at the right time and they couldn't contain themselves, and the entire theater is breaking up with laughter. Your guides, you can feel them chuckling and moving. It's a celebration of you and the most joyful you that exists. And it's here being done for a reason, dear ones, to show you. Forget the bad stuff. There's so much good stuff in you. Forget all of the negative things that you ponder, that you worry about, that you are always constantly drawn to. This one is different. This is the majesty of you on the screen. And it goes because there's so many funny things. So much laughter, so much joy. Tears, in people's eyes because they're having so much fun watching your life and the beauty and all the things that made you laugh. They're laughing with you. I want you to stay because this doesn't stop. The film continues because there's just more and more and more of it. Do you realize that joy is sacred? Do you realize that laughter is healing? I want you to have a big smile on your face as you sit there with your guides and all those around you. Because this continues, and when you think it's over and the circle of 12 music closes, I want you to take all of that home. And I want you to continue with the joy of the magnificence of who you are. Stay. And so it is.